Hey, what is going on, road trippers? Road Trip Nate here. Once again, welcome back to the channel. Just traveling through northern Missouri, or Missouri, whichever you prefer to call it. I'm traveling through just fields. Just thought I would share a few minutes worth of just traveling through the northern Missouri countryside here. Just going stir crazy. About 110 miles from the Iowa border. We're getting there. We're getting there. We're getting to Iowa. I may or may not make it into Coralville tonight. I may have to save that for another trip. I don't know. But I just want to get to Iowa. I booked a room last night for up in Paducah. That's pretty cool. That might have been an old entranceway for a. That was pretty cool. Some stone entry blocks. Looks like it used to be probably a road or something, an entry road or something. But I made a reservation for last night in Paducah, Kentucky, for tonight. There's some more. Is that an old estate or something? Huh. But I canceled it last night right after I made the reservation while I was up in Springfield. Because I didn't want to have a set destination to make. I didn't know what I wanted to do today. So I just wanted to see. The motto of my channel should be, I just want to see where the road takes me. I don't want to have a set destination in mind when I go travel. I just want to see where the road takes me. You know, when I wake up, when I wake up that day, I want to know. Yeah, I want to go to Iowa. I don't want to go to Kentucky. I want to go to Iowa. That's yesterday I drove to Springfield, Missouri, thinking I want to go to Kentucky. Which I should have, which I was shooting for Horse Cave, which is where my buddy Ben from the pawn shop, where he's buried at. He's a good buddy. He was a good buddy of mine. I wanted to go there, pay my respects. He was a good friend of mine. I wanted to go to Lexington to go see the real stuffed cocaine bear. That'll be another trip. I woke up this morning. I didn't want to go to Kentucky. I wanted to go to Iowa again, which is one of my favorite states. And it had been since 2020 since I'd been up to Iowa. My buddy Tim always gives me a hard time about Iowa being one of my top 5 favorite states, and then all the ragging I do on Kansas. He's like, Iowa and Kansas are basically the same thing. Why do you hate Kansas so much, but you love Iowa? Iowa, I had a good experience. I had a great experience the week I lived up in Iowa with the roommates I had working for the roofing company that I did not get any videos of, except for a couple of live streams I did traveling up to Maple Grove, Minnesota. But we may go up to Coralville. I don't know. I just want to get to Iowa first, see how I feel, see where everything's at, see how my back feels. It's already starting to hurt. I'm sitting in the car so long. I just see how I feel, and I may go up to Coralville, spend a little bit, travel around Coralville tomorrow, and won't go into Cedar Rapids because that's like 25 miles from Coralville. But there's places I want to see in Cedar Rapids, but I won't do that tomorrow. If I go to Coralville, I will just stay there in Coralville and drive around probably the Promenade area. I could go to Tailgaters, which is where the roommates I had, they thought they lost me back in 2020. It was like the first night I was there, we all went out drinking, and they thought they lost me at Tailgaters, which I actually left Tailgaters and walked the mile back to there's a big chicken, which I walked the mile back to the Promenade area, which it was kind of like the Branson Landing, which it has it had apartments and places to live upstairs above like the shops and everything. We may see that. I kind of want to get that on video. I'm sure the people I roomed with, because I had to sleep in the living room because it was like a 2 or 3 bedroom apartment. I had to bring my inflatable mattress and I had to air it up every night to sleep, and slept in the living room. I think it was like $100 a week or something that I spent. I only spent a week there, so I only paid for $100. But we may go see Coralville. We may go there, and I may see what that area looks like now. We may go to Tailgaters. Who knows? I may walk back. No, I'm not going to do that. But we may get a few things on. And Coralville is right there next to Iowa City, which, you know, I'm partial to Kansas State. I've been partial to Kansas State University. Back when I moved up to the state of Kansas, I lived up in St. Francis. I've showed that on video. St. Francis, I showed that on video back in 2020. That was a few months before I went to Iowa. But I showed St. Francis, Kansas. I lived up in St. Francis, Kansas with an ex-girlfriend of mine back in 2008. It took me 12 years to go back there. And I finally got it on video. But Kansas State University was the university that I liked in Kansas. I don't know why. It was just the university I liked. University of Iowa, because I have such a good memories of Coralville and Cedar Rapids, being up in Iowa. Iowa is I'm fond of. I'm fond of the University of Iowa. I'm partial to that. They're not one of my favorite teams, but I'm partial to them. Because I have a fondness because they were right there, close to Coralville. I drove by the university. We might get that on video. I don't know. We'll get something on video. But that was a few minute ramble. Mr. Beaver, we're almost to Iowa. We're 100 miles away from Iowa. We'll figure out what we want to do. But that's going to do it for right now. I may catch back up with y'all when I get to the Iowa border, or maybe if there's a big enough town to see here in Missouri before we get to Missouri, whichever you want to call it. Why? Junction, why? But we'll catch up. Me and Mr. Beaver, we'll catch up with y'all here in just a little bit. Bye from northern Missouri. Catch you later, road trippers.